Hello, boys and gents. I'm back with another video. And actually, if you see this, you probably know there's another video uploaded. This is a side video from me making my other video because I made like a couple of videos in bulk. I haven't even really touched on this one. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So basically, we just got done discussing about like how Deku uses he can, he's super dummy smart. He researches people, the lack of equality, because I said equality in my video, but I think the point got across. People be bugging out and shit, dog, like dead ass, because people don't understand, and Deku sees it very clearly, but with further research and development, he realizes not everyone's gonna see it the same way. So I'm gonna say he knows about Shoto a little bit early on. As I said, he does know Todoroki. He's want to go talk to Todoroki. Him and them fought a few times, and Mans was kind of like he already solved that whole quirk BS. Like, come on, let's get that out of the way. But now remember, this is while they're very young, and so I'm gonna say that this is where we're gonna actually get a first fight scene, or a real fight scene. Deku formally challenged Endeavor off rip. Manga spoilers, so if you want to skip a little bit further into the video, I'm gonna keep my finger up so you'll know that this is a spoiler for the manga. Basically, I'm gonna say they fought, right? And Endeavor and Deku fought, and Deku said, if you give me 5 minutes of preparation, I'll be able to beat you. Endeavor being how he is in a canon and how he is, he'll be the same way. He's like, whatever. Just because you got some army type quirk doesn't mean you'll be able to beat the number 2 hero. Blah, blah, blah. Talking mad heat, talking mad smoke. So he gives the dude 6 minutes. Now, you know what? 10 minutes. Deku says, at your funeral. So, right when the fight and stuff begins, it's hilarious because you see Deku in like this fireproof resistant armor suit that's actually somehow light. It's not heavy on him or anything like that. And so the fight commences. Everyone goes at it, right? Deku says, all right, now remember, you did ask for this. Deku cocks back his gun and says, well, you're the number 2 hero, so I shouldn't have to hold back much against you. He turns his back on. He turns his back on Endeavor. Endeavor charges at him. Oh, don't worry, we started already. Endeavor's like, you puny. Poof. The second that happens, bombs and stuff are going off. He even asked beforehand, like, property damage isn't a problem, right? And he does have a drone recording all of this. So, like, Endeavor's like, well, if I hurt you, I don't want to hear nothing about this. Might be used for blackmail depending on how we go. And Deku's laughing. This is only the beginning. Endeavor's right behind Deku. Right before Endeavor's actually able to connect a hit, 2 flashbangs pop out of the woodworks. Blinds Endeavor. That's why Deku was turned around. Because don't get me wrong, I'm going to say he has a resistance but not an immunity. Especially since these flashbangs have some more time in them. Once again, if y'all didn't see the other ones, I'm gonna link the playlist down in the comment section, or as I like to say, the information box. He can take time from other things, right? I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like any other things, but it's gonna be stuff like related to war or some type of electronic, but it has to be like not just some any old J electronic, like a military weapon or something of that caliber. Anyways, so these flashbangs are pretty strong. Deku walks past him while he's blind, throws multiple freeze grenades down, which they won't be able to freeze him, but it'll be able to hinder his power dramatically. And now note that Deku has not actually hit him once, okay? Why does he have this armor? Just in case. So Deku has not hit him once. So I want y'all to understand that he's not going to outpower him. He's going to slowly winder this dude down bit by bit. But enough of that. Let's get to the fight. because that's what we really care about. So, freeze grenades are just going off in the background. Everyone, Todoroki, all of them are just like watching this, like all of the Shotos, they're all watching this, like. And so he does that. Endeavor's like trying to, like, so eventually he just burns pretty much a good proximity of everything around him. And he says, Endeavor like stops burning things. He looks around, sees a shitload of fire. Not a fire, he sees a lot of flour, like as in powder. I don't know if this was true. I seen it in a movie, which the dude basically made a miniature explosion. He said, hey, it'd be a shame if you was to blow up. shoots a 1 second gun, because it's like it went from, this is how the camera angle would be, right? It would go, and then boom, it's already in his hand. Shoots a 1 second gun. I'm gonna say maybe like 10 seconds or some shit, it was just enough to get the spark going. So what he did was he shot some alcohol down on Endeavor, but instead of actually hitting him, it hits everything around him. And he's like, it'd be a shame if you were to move at all, because the tiniest movement would set that off. He's like, you would think I'm scared of it, some flour? It's military grade flour. Endeavor, slightly confused. What MREs and that type of stuff. So he's kind of like, what difference does it make? I take time to make my equipment. And so the longer I make something, the stronger it is when it does whatever it does. So if I made a military cake out of military materials, guess what? That cake would be very useful as healing or tasting, And flour has more than one purpose. It could be used to make a delicious baked good that's vegan, or it could be used to make an explosion. He said. Then he would go into like the scientific explanation of that shit, like, right? So he would be like, yeah, blah 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 blah, chemicals, blah blah blah, boom boom, and everybody was like, how long did it take you to make this? So let me get this straight. The longer you, because his flames are pretty much like toned down completely, so it doesn't burn, so the alcohol doesn't burn them. And he's like, so let me get this straight. The longer you make something, the stronger it can be. Most definitely. He thinks himself impressive, but he doesn't say it out loud. Furthermore, I don't think no pilchard flames will do this. Well, you did say property damage wasn't a thing. Throws back a lighter. Endeavor. Oh, you son of a... It's a big explosion. It's not like a city explosion or anything, but it's like a pretty big explosion. So everyone heard that bad boy. Everyone. He showed on everybody. They was actually scared they was getting hit, but when they, actually look, they have